Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of
Kurabeyo, the comparison show. Yeah.
My name is Zen, and today we will be comparing two different types of cafes in Japan. And so today's Kurabeyo topic is Kissaten versus coffee shop. So Japan has a special kind of traditional coffee shop called the Kissaten, which can be translated as tea drinking shop, or it also just means coffee shop. So if you don't already know, I'm a coffee lover. So today I have chosen one Kissaten and one coffee shop, and I will show you what it is like, and we are going to find out which place has the best food and drinks, environment. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the Kissaten that I chose is J-Cook in Gaenmai. It is run by an old couple, really friendly and open. So this is really rare because usually traditional places are quite strict about photography. So one special thing about Kissaten is the retro vintage feeling of it. It feels like you're going back in time, a period when everything was a little bit more refined, also known as the Showa period, which was when the bubble period happened. Next, the food. It is usually yoshoku. Yoshoku is Western style food that was adapted by Japanese before the war period, and it is still highly consumed even until today. So for example, this spaghetti that is called Napolitan, it might just look like a normal tomato sauce spaghetti, but it is actually made with tomato ketchup, fried with onions, ham, or sausages. If you don't feel like eating, most Kissatens usually serve dessert sweets like cakes to pair with a good cup of coffee. I would like to comment one thing about Kissaten coffees is that it is usually dark roasted. So if you're someone who doesn't like a robust, bitter, dark coffee, then maybe it's not your best choice, but definitely give it a try. One thing to take note is that some coffees in Kissatens can be slightly a little bit more expensive, but the ambiance and the experience you get here is really worth it. Next, the modern coffee shop that I chose is called Counterpart Coffee. It's in Shinjuku Gochome. It's also accessible from Nakano Sakaue Station. This place is owned by a young, passionate man, and as you can see, it focuses more on the minimalistic design, bright lights, wood, or concrete. I like how it gives a vibe of freedom. So since this is a specialty coffee shop, so obviously they specialize in their coffee. You can choose from different beans around the world, and usually it goes from a medium roast to a light roast. For me, I personally like a lighter roast coffee, so I would prefer the coffees in, specialty coffee places. Usually in coffee stands or coffee shops, there isn't much food options. There might only be pastries, sweets, or maybe some sandwiches. So, don't expect to, have like a full meal, but it's perfect for like breakfast or like tea time. Yeah, something like that. Also, this place is bright, so it's good for reading a book or just doing your work or study. So now that we've been to both places, it's time for
It's Kurabeyo time.
Well, this is a very hard decision because I really like both kinds because they're so different. They both have different characteristics, they're both really good. But if I really were to choose, I would have to divide this into atmosphere and the coffee. So for the coffee, I would go for specialty coffee shops because I like a more lighter roast coffee. But if we're talking about atmosphere, the environment, the ambiance, I think I would choose a Kissaten because it is really rare and you can't really find this in a lot of places. And it is also rapidly decreasing due to the decreasing population and things like that. Oh, and before we finish the video, I have a word of the day, and it is natsukashi. Natsukashi means feeling nostalgic. To put it in a sentence, let's say I go to a place that reminds me of my childhood, I would go, "Koko natsukashi na." So I hope you learned a word today. And before I leave, thank you for watching and please subscribe. Don't forget to comment and press the like. Click the links below and check us out. We're the Mojo Fam, and I'm out!